All right, it's kind of a weekend recap here. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's very important to live in the moment. The general consensus on this is, meditation, um, also being present right now. It's really the only time you can affect anything in your life. The choices you make now, the actions you take now, are the only thing that can actually be done. The other problem with that is they say if you're living in regret or guilt, you're living in the past, and those are emotions that will completely drag down your moment right now. If you're living in stress or worry, you're living in the future for something that also you cannot affect right now. The only things that can be done right now. When you think about something either from the past or from the future, you're thinking about it in the position and the time of right now. So that's where they say you can bring it into the present, something that either has already happened and cannot happen again, cannot be undone. So you bring it into your now, but you can't do anything about it. All you do is change your current situation focused on your past. So if you feel guilty, you feel bad, you feel regretful, you feel angry, you feel cheated, you bring that into your world now, it's going to make now feel that way. If you're thinking about the future, you can think about it positively, obviously. This is where I'm going, this is where I'm heading, these are the goals I'm making. I can see a path that's good. When you start to think about the consequence of making choices now, of things that might happen on Monday because of choices you've already made, things that might happen on Tuesday because of something you hear on the news, something that might happen on Wednesday because you've heard rumors. You bring that fear and that worry into now, and you ruin now. And the problem is, this is all you have. Tomorrow may never come. Yesterday is already gone. All you have is right now. So that's a big thing about being in the moment, thinking in the moment, living in the moment, making choices in the moment. And that's the part that I really want to talk about right now is all you can do is live in the now. Live this moment. The problem a lot of people run into is, what is this moment? Is it this second? Is it this minute? Is it this hour? Is it this day? Or is this moment the next week? How big is the moment you're talking about? Now, if sometimes a moment will be seconds, I gotta win this auction, I gotta do this. You make that choice right now in this second, and you only have until the auction ends to make that decision. You have a very limited window. Also, people talk about living in the moment. If you're out having fun on a Saturday night, pretty typical. You might think, yeah, this is great. I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to drink more. I'm going to spend this money on this. I'm going to do that. That's very much living in that moment. However, it's going to affect your Sunday morning. So, does your moment only consider that Saturday, or do you consider that moment your whole rest of your weekend? All right, I'm having fun now, but if I drink too much, if I stay out too late, if I don't get enough sleep, if I spend money I don't have, what is your Sunday going to look like? Maybe you have plans to go for a hike, go to the beach, learn how to surf, go for a bike ride, spend time with your kids. There's a brunch you're supposed to be at in the morning that's with friends. How is the choices you make in this moment going to affect what happens tomorrow morning? So, how big is your moment? What is the scope of your moment? If the moment is the entire weekend, the choices you make Saturday night affect part of that moment, which is the Sunday. This is one of those things that a lot of people plan for, in the fact that they're having fun Saturday. They're like, I'm living in the moment. I'm loving this music, this song, this band we're seeing, these drinks, the people I'm hanging out with. This is great. And there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. what you have to evaluate is how important is that moment, that hour, that 2 hours, in the moment that encompasses the entire weekend. And so that's one of those things I want you to think about. Because a lot of times you think living in the moment is being irresponsible, being irrational, being juvenile. Oh, this is so fun, this is so fun, and then you do something that's going to cause damage to your further life. But that's not worrying about the choice in the future. It's not worrying about what's going to happen in the future. It's a choice right now that's going to ruin, affect, tarnish this moment that is the weekend. So I completely believe in meditation, living in the moment, breathing, being aware of everything that's great in your world right now, being aware of choices you can make right now that will affect your future, either good or bad. But you always make the choices now, in the moment. And so that's where you need to evaluate your choices based on, is it going to be part of a bigger moment that you're in? Obviously, there's choices that don't affect anything at all. Should you have tacos with chicken or should you have tacos with beef? Unless you're allergic to something, there's no effect. Choose whatever you want. If you're bidding on an auction and you have $500 to spend, it's coming down to the end of the auction and somebody outbids you and there's 5 minutes left and they bid up to 560. Well, what if you get stuck in that moment and you bid $600 that you don't have? You had 500 of it, now you have to come up with another 100. Where's that coming from? How's it going to affect your moment? Are you going to not be able to pay a bill? Are you not going to be able to buy food? What living in the moment is more than just this second, and yet just this second is the only time you can make any choices or do any action that affect anything. So live in the moment, be aware in the moment, love your moment. Know that whatever you bring into this moment, whether it's from the past or the future, will change the energy you have right now, change the feelings, change what you think of this moment. Also be aware that if you have plans in the future, that a choice you make right now based on not considering how big this moment is can affect this bigger moment. It can affect your whole weekend when it's a choice of one more drink, another hour outside, uh, something along those lines where it's going to affect the rest of that weekend, that moment that is the weekend. Anyway, just something to consider. Try to live in this moment, how big it is. Try not to worry, stress about a future that isn't there. Try not to regret or feel guilt or feel upset about a past that is gone. Make choices now based on what this moment is to you and how these choices are going to affect the bigger moment that you're in. Hopefully that makes some sense. If you need more clarification, please comment below. Let me know. It's a way to think about things, though. You only have this moment to make the choice. However, your moment that it affects might be bigger. Hopefully that kind of narrows it down some. Anyway, hope you have a great weekend.